Hi guys, back one more time. This should be the last video for today. So we were just talking about looking at a function on a graph, and I just explained g of x. So g of -4 is actually going to be equal to -3 because when we input a -4 for our x value, we get out, or the output is -3 for our y value. Same way that we use the table to figure out our x and y values, we're going to do the same thing on the graph. So when it asks us to find h of -2, I literally am going to come over to this graph and I'm going to look at when x is -2, which would be right here. What is my y value? Well, in this case, the y would be -1. So h of -2 is equal to -1. For number 17, find x if f of x is equal to 2. This is where it's a little different. You'll notice in 15 and 16, I was inputting the x value. Here, it's telling me this function is equal to 2. So 2 is my output value. So I have to come over to the f of x, and I have to find where is the y value 2. So in this case, my y value is going to be 2 when x is -1. So I can put in f of -1 is equal to 2. However, if you thought it was something different, you might have been looking at this point, and let's see if I can highlight it over here. Okay, so that point over there is also where y is equal to 2. Because you see our graph kind of does like the mountain, right? So what I could also do is I could come over here and I could type in that f of -3 is also equal to 2. You've got to be careful when you have a function notation. I'll just leave it above. In this case, there are two inputs that give us the same output, because x can be -3 or x can be -1, and both of those x's will give us an output of 2. For number 18, find x if h of x is equal to 3. So again, I come over here. When is my output 3? It's when my input is at, excuse me, when our input is at -4. So h of -4 is equal to -3. Now would be a good time to pause if you want to try 19 and 20. I'm going to go ahead and move on. So those two answers, I will give you this here. In number 20, for f of -2, that's literally saying when I input -2 for x, what is my output? So in this case, that happens to be our maximum, which is right here. So there's only one value that will output 3. So f of -2 is equal to 3. All right, so moving right along, the next part of class is going to be your turn to practice. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to go through page 11, all the way from 21 through 26. And when you have answers for those, then you should go ahead and hit play again, and you can check your work. All right, so here is number 21, number 22, and number 23. You will notice that for these three, the first one's pretty straightforward. 22 and 23 might have been a little bit different for you because you were asked to find the answer or find what you inputted to get that answer, right? So for 22, in order to come out as 126, what did I have to put in? Well, I saw that r of x was 5 to the x power plus 1. So I just made it an equation. 126, that's my output, is equal to 5 to the x power plus 1. If I solve it like an equation, subtract 1 from both sides, then I'm left with 125 equals 5 to the x power. Well, hello, we just did squares and cubes. And you know that 5 to the third power is 125. So here, x will be equal to 3. So r of 3 equals 120. And really, let's just say 126. Sorry about that. So r of 3 is equal to 126. For number 23, same idea, but this time I'm telling you input a 4. Your x value is 4. So p of x is equal to x squared. So I literally take and make it 4 squared. 4 squared is equal to 16. So p of 4 is equal to 16. On the next three, I'm going to go ahead and move these out of your way. Again, we were just plugging in and solving. So the first two were pretty straightforward. The third one, that's where I plug in that 0 for my input value. So I come back over here, r of x is equal to 5 to the x power plus 1. So now it's 5 to the 0 power plus 1. And what do you know about anything raised to the 0 power? Any number raised to the 0 power is 1. So that's how I came up with 1 plus 1. So r of 0 is equal to 2. So that is my output. When I input a 0 for x, my output, my y variable, or that y in my coordinate pair is going to be a 2. All right, so if you have officially completed today's work, you have come to this screen, which is our exit card. When there's about 10 minutes left of the period, your substitute will be passing out the exit card for the day. If you happen to have gotten there before the end of class, you can gladly go up and ask for the exit card. This exit card is being collected and it is being graded. So please do your best work. Make sure your name is on it. I don't want to have to guess when I come back on Wednesday. So make sure your name is on the top, answer it, and turn it back in before the bell rings. Thanks for hanging with me today, guys. I hope you have a good day. I hope everything goes well. And any questions that you have, make sure you are ready to bring them up tomorrow when I'm back. Okay, have a good one. Bye.